Sanje Juda Soge Juda Janju Badu Dani Japsu She Daga Chin So Gebe Sona Tola Benjir Sanje Dubara Sho Sanje Juda Soge Shonam Janju Badu Dani Japsu She Daga Chin So Gebe Sona Tola Benjir Sanje Dubara Sho Sanje Juda Soge Shonam Janju Badu Dani Japsu She Daga Chin So Gebe Sonam I go for refuge and enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by making mentions of practice of giving and so forth. May I become Buddha to benefit sentient beings. I go for refuge and enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. May I become a Buddha to benefit sentient beings. I go for refuge and enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I think it's on page 4, or I think it's page 4, page 6, the essence of dependent origin mantra. 6 there. Right. Page 6. Okay, now the meanings already explained. Let's see if you can contemplate the meanings as you recite the mantra and make it like your natural way of thinking. As you read the mantra, the meanings must come to spontaneously be reflected. So if this happens, this is very important in our life, because that finally we see that the how we lead a life is based on some degree of the principle, and that comes to philosophy of the principle. And if this becomes thinking about the law and cause and effect as the leading principle, the philosophy of life, then in your next lives, even as born as a little girl, little boy, we see that your mind you will lead your life accordingly, and then you will not be deviated so easily by other people's thought processes, and you'll be able to take a decision for yourself wisely. So this mantra is so precious. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramana Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha Om dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha Om ye dharma Om Sham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Bhakti Mahashramanaye Swaha. Phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. Whatever cessation of these causes is also taught by Great Seer. Okay, let us turn to read the 3 principal aspects of the path. Anyone who can identify where it is, page number. Okay. The three principles of the path. So basically, we see that that finally your Dharma practice. I remember my teacher, Venerable Geshe Lharampa Degree, and I'm just wondering if you remember Geshe Lharampa from Dharamshala many years ago, like 34 years ago. Lharampa, because that Ajala was from, seems like there's no one else. They're too young for that. Okay, so John Paul, you heard about Gyudmed Monastic. Okay, so my teacher, Geshe Lharampa Degree. In fact, I was, I think, about like maybe 16 or 17, where my mind was in school. In school, my mind was going physics, so crazy after physics. I did slightly yesterday. And then it's all about asking questions, how, why, what, and so forth. Questions with respect to science, move to secular, then to Buddhism. Buddhist family, Buddhist environment, and there are many things we just took for granted. And then as this young boy started to ask questions. And to my amazement, to the unpleasant surprise, people say pleasant surprise, unpleasant surprise, I discovered that many of the elder Tibetans, they did not have answers to many of these questions on Buddhism. And then I came to discover that some students who are 1 year senior to me, they go to the boys' hostel, and above that, that is the hermitages. And they go to one teacher by the name Geshe Lharampa. And they both asked many questions. So I don't mean to challenge Buddhism at all. And my senior, who also received teaching from Venerable Geshe Lharampa Degree, he must have been informed, oh, this boy, he's very inquisitive, he asks questions, so maybe he has given a different impression. And then he's asking for an appointment with you, again, a date and timing. And I was there, and Girton was a little serious, thinking that he must be critical about Buddhism. This boy must be critical about Buddhism. And no, not at all. I had my challenges, very extremely scary dreams, nightmares. So then Girton just said one thing: he did not have any modern education. This is the strength of the Buddhist teachers. He did not have any modern education. And what he said was that, Dorji, if you have no suffering, no need of Buddhism. This is what he said. Wow, that relieved me a lot. It gave me such a relief. Which means that it's so practical, it's so realistic, it's very rational. Very rational. And wow, this is amazing. Now, when I think back in time, that he did not have any modern education, thinking is so open, thinking is extremely open, and he is so ready to embrace anything which is realistically beneficial for one's well-being, for the well-being of others. That's very impressive. So if we don't have the suffering, then no need of Buddhism, no need of Buddhist teachings. So the three principles of the path being is for your own well-being, for the well-sake of I'm following the Tibetan Buddhism, so these are things that you do know for your own well-being. Keep this in mind. So having said this, for our well-being, what we require is that first we cover your true potential. For example, say handful of sand, you squeeze, handful of sunflower seeds, you squeeze handful of sunflower seeds. Yes, oil does come out. But thinking that, okay, so I don't know whether you have this. The first time I heard it, it really fascinated me that once the child was so keen for, oh, mom, I like this, I like that, and so forth. And the mom said, no, we don't have enough money, so you have to understand us, you have to understand our family situation. And this boy, little boy, he noticed one thing. When he was with somebody else in the shopping mall, what he noticed was that there was, other people with a lot of things. And then at the counter, they give the card, and they swipe the card, or the cashier swipe the card and give her the card. And the cashier did not keep the card. So he's given back to. And this boy later told mother, Mom, you also have a card. You have the office card. You have the office card. So people give the card, and the cashier swipe it and give it back to you. So mom, also you can use this office card, and they'll give you. You can buy things. So look, for this child, there is the office card and the bank card, credit card. This is really just the same. No. So likewise, same, for your well-being, whatever you do, if the well-being is assured, your well-being is guaranteed, because whatever you do, that's fine. With Buddhism, you get well-being, do it. Without Buddhism, you get well-being, that's your path. So there's no hard and fast rule to say that, oh, Buddhism is the best, Buddhism is good for you. No, not necessary. The thing is that the point is that we should be very smart to make the distinction between the two cards. Likewise, we should be smart enough to distinguish what is good for you and what is not good for you. That's something we should remember. So for that, we need to identify that you too have the Buddha nature. For example, the credit card or the debit card. So particularly the debit card, it's the potential to, lend you money or whatever. So it has something to do with the money. But the office card, it does not have anything. It doesn't have anything to do with the money transaction. So likewise, do you have the potential? Do you have the potential to get what you like? So the answer is Charles Darwin. What Charles Darwin said, like in 19th century AD, what he said, and then 2,500 years ago, what the Buddha said, with respect to whether or not you can achieve or you will attain, you can achieve what you seek. So Charles Darwin is not too positive. Of course, I truly, truly admire single-handedly this scientist. He taught about the evolution. Evolution theory is amazing. So even today, we don't find anybody who was challenging. Of course, it doesn't mean that his theory is complete. It's amazing. He's such a brilliant scientist. And it was 2000 that the Office of His Holiness in America worked with Professor Paul Ekman, and who in turn, okay, this is something that we need to know, that Professor Paul Ekman, I think last year, he passed away, and he was a brilliant, and so one time when he was coming to India, because that I know him so well, and so because of His Holiness, otherwise he's too big, too famous, that we are no one to know him. So then I invited him to give a talk at Delhi, and your friend who was assisting him that time, and then I requested his assistant or friend to send me his CV, and I said, we need to advertise it. And that friend, what he said, he said that, Geshe, don't advertise. If you don't advertise, then how will I attract the audience? So he said, don't advertise, because he is somebody who the terrorists of the major terrorists of the different countries, they were actually after him, because he was the pioneer. He science, psychology known as the microfacial expression reading. The science of micro. He's expert in this. So he just looks at the face, and from there he would see what's going in your mind. His expertise. So he was training the CIA. He was training the people there to detect the terrorists. So the terrorists, they are now after him. Advertise. Then what I did, that so Tibet House was so glad to invite, but still we advertise. We advertise because we have to draw the audience. Because he's a big man, and if the audience is there, it's not fair. So I advise saying that I'm glad to inform you that we're inviting Professor Andrew, not Professor Poligman, Professor Andrew. In the bracket, I said name changed. Doesn't become a lie. Name changed, and then and the who is Professor Andrew about that. So the advertisement purpose is fulfilled. People is jam-packed. Who was interested? Why name changed? Name changed. Who is that guy? Why name changed? It's a big horse. And okay, so why I said that? Okay, don't bring up things which everything I said. Thing was that, huh? Oh, okay. Okay, Charles Darwin. Hopeless. Not so much hope. It's all about credit cards. Okay, Charles Darwin. So, I was there 2008, working, but just very briefly for 5 days. Sent there to work with Professor Paul Ekman on the book, on the book to be published, the book which was the outcome of the interview, 54 hours of interview of His Holiness the Dalai Lama by Paul Ekman within a span of like several years, 3 or 4 years time. And so all this interview, Professor Paul Ekman this out in the form of book, and he already drafted the book, and that His Holiness's voice is accurately reflected. So I was sent there, and he was so kind, Professor Parliament was so kind to entertain all the 5 days, 5 evenings, I would say. In the daytimes we were working together. In the evenings, then he entertained me with the different things. And one evening was to meet with his psychologist friends. And then they asked me to introduce myself. So we see each other. And then I was how to say a little bit about the Buddhist psychology. So I know how to say the unease, the sadness, the pains, the frustrations, they're all connected with our emotions, basic emotions of attachment, anger, jealousy, and so forth. These are to be toned down or to be removed. And one lady psychologist raised her hand and said that, but this is not possible. These emotions cannot be got rid of completely. And I said, why? And she said that because according to Charles Darwin's evolutionary theory, that these emotions, like particularly attachment, aversion, fear, these emotions, they're instincts. They're instincts, which means that these are evolutionary, say, 4 billion years of evolution, Homo sapiens, 4 units of the organism 4 billion years ago, where the planet Earth came out of the sun. all the 8 planets or 9 planets, sometimes Pluto is kicked out as a planet, and sometimes included. So Pluto is the one who is in some way the threshold. So 8 or 9 planets, they all came from the sun 4 billion years ago. No, 4.6 billion years ago. 4 billion years ago, it took like 0.6 billion years for the planet Earth to cool down. It took this long to cool down. Then the water formed. This is according to physics. Water is formed. Then with the water, the first unicellular organisms came into being. So that was our first ancestor. From that day till today, it took for 4 billion years to develop the sophisticated emotions like anger, attachment, and the fear and so forth. So the fearing, these emotions, we cannot get rid of the number one instinct for ourselves. If the emotions, we cannot possibly survive. We need the food, and let's say the morning breakfast. People looking forward to the morning breakfast. So there's attachment. So attachment makes you bring the conducive factors which you require for survival. And aversion is required to dispel or to remove, terminate, or remove the discordant factors for survival. So this is the work of the aversion. And the fear. The fear is again a survival tool for you. If a tiger or lion, then if they come to you, then if you don't have a fear, you will not run away. If you don't run away, they will eat you up, and then your species terminate. So therefore, we require these emotions for our survival as a survival tool. Then the question, yes, is this true? This is the question. And what the Buddha has to say. The Buddha said that there are the instincts, according to Buddha, instincts. And in Buddhism, we use a different word, which is innate rather than instinct. Instinct has a little bit of differentiated meaning, and innate has the connotation of something spontaneous. So, on these emotions, are they instincts? Answer is yes, they are instincts or they innate. Then the next, can they do we require them? The Buddha said we don't require them. So they have so much of the side effects. But the anger, the fear, with the anger and the fear aversion. So if we cannot really live with this for like 24/7, even for a few days, it'll really hamper, it'll really damage our physical health. And it can also cause a life full. Besides, the Buddha came up with the alternative way, that is skillful compassion. Where you have the compassion, the mind embraces, it doesn't reject, and embraces, but skillfully. Because oftentimes people say that if practicing compassion, it may be good for others, but it's not really good for yourself. But His Holiness says the opposite. Says that compassion, whether other people benefit or not, you are the first recipient of the compassion practice, the benefit of the compassion practice. So, with this compassion, when you compassion, at the same time that people don't take skillfulness to accompany the compassion. So, according to Buddha, now, if this is the case, then in a way what the Buddha is saying, that we all, whatever religion that we're following, whatever ethnicity, whatever gender, we all have the potential to experience what do you want. We're going to get, and how many agree with this? Everybody wants to have the maximum happiness and get rid of all the miseries. Raise hands, how many agree with this? Everybody. Most of the girls who seek to minimize the miseries and to get the maximum happiness. Boys and girls. Everyone. Buddhist or non-Buddhist. Or the Swiss or the non-Swiss. Everyone. 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 It's not about isms. It's not about Buddhism. It's not about isms. It's the reality of the beings. So then the next question is, yes, this is exactly what I want. I want to get away from miseries. I want to have the maximum happiness. Then next question is, what degree of happiness do you want? What degree of ease do you want? 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%? Anyone? 100%. 100%. Reasons 100%. And some say 90%. 10% to appreciate the 90% happiness. Candida, you agree with this? 90%. Okay. Yes, this is, some young people have this 90%. 90% people, they breakfast cut. No breakfast to appreciate the lunch and dinner. And then let's see Gendula whether he, he started to, what do you call it? Gendula, he starts to, what do you call it? Sulk. He starts to sulk or grumpy or smile. Let's see. Danger like that. No breakfast. It becomes easy for you. No, younger or elder, Gendula? Elder. Okay. So those in future, huh? Okay. Okay. So anybody who is using, maybe we can put it on the flight mode, or switch, or remove, or just disconnect from the Wi-Fi. Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. So, okay. We want 100% happiness except for Gendila. Ale. Okay. Not getting first. So he said, no, it was miscommunication. Actually, he 100%. Okay, question is it possible? Is it possible? 100% happiness, is it possible? This is a question. So they say, how many say it's possible, presents? It's possible. Now I say that I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. And say, no, it's not possible. Okay, so defend the thoughts, it doesn't matter. If you feel I'm not too sure, it's fine. If you say, no, it's not possible, that's also fine. But those who say, I'm not sure, plus the no, it's not possible. So those people, a message that don't be too rigid. If you say that it's not possible, you close your door and not ready to the inquire. Then in a way, what we are creating a dead end. We're creating dead end, and then in a way, what we're saying that the painful tears, we cannot avoid this. But the Buddha is very positive. We can avoid. And those who say that yes, 100% happiness is possible. The next question is, how is it possible? This question. So only when you're positive, then people ask how. When they ask you how, then you have to think for the answer. When you think, you grow. This is the benefit. When you think, you grow. There's the benefit. This is so really start thinking, and you have the capacity to really go to that level of the advancement. So there is possible. So to say, squeeze a handful of sand. Is it possible for the oil to come out? Have the squeeze a handful of sunflower seeds, oil comes out? Yes. What makes a difference? Quick. What makes a difference? Yes, Tenzutendrula. Okay, so the sand has the potential for oil. So you said nature. Whose nature? Sand or the oil, the sunflower seeds? Okay, just say nature. I don't know. Right? So complete sentence. You're getting it? So when I give you full, I expect full. Okay. So that the two differ in the nature, whether or not one can produce oil. Okay. So with this, say with the sand for sand, no matter how much you put effort to squeeze, no, don't expect oil to come out. But it's with a handful of sunflower seeds, yes, oil does come out because it has a nature to produce oil. So likewise, do we have the potential for this, potential for the 100% happiness? This is unnecessary torture on ourselves to put a lot of effort trying to bring that. So can we have this 100% happiness? So the Buddha is very positive. Yes, we have the potential. That potential is known as Buddha nature. Buddha nature. Okay, so for time, let me, so we're going to read this. For this, why I'm sharing about this Buddha nature is for the reason that this Buddha nature, the potential for us to experience infinite ease and the fearlessness. So this potential, we have it. But if you have it, why don't we see that Buddha nature? And technically speaking, there are many seniors. For you, I like to share that the Buddha nature is of two kinds. Buddha nature is of two kinds. One is known as Rakshi Nirik. In Tibet, in English, it is the natural Buddha nature. In Tibetan, it is known as Rakshi Nirik. In English, it is known as natural Buddha nature. And the other one is, in Tibetan, Gyurrik. Gyurrik. And in English, it's a proliferating Buddha nature. So there are two Buddha natures, and if somebody is interested, they remind me maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow. For time being, I like to just go through this. And why I'm mentioning these things is that for us, not to just know the basic concepts, but also to know the technicalities. Particularly, there are seniors, and you want to know more, but you want to go into the technicalities. Okay, if we have the Buddha nature for what we have, why don't we see this? Why don't I see the potential? Say, I'm not happy, I'm not 24/7 happy, and I still have miseries. So why it is not visible? The fearlessness or freedom from misery and the infinite ease. If I had to potential, why don't I see this? Say, if the gold is mixed with the mud, what's the nature of the gold? The nature of gold is to glow. But when mixed with the mud, it's not glowing. Why? And then we may try to remove this through this, saying that, oh, this is just a mud. And the gold experts will say, no, don't remove this. It's the gold there. And how will the gold expert explain this to you, that there's gold there? By removing the mud. So likewise, if we have the gold like Buddha nature, so how can we see this? Remove the mud. What is that mud? This is a metaphorical mud, the mud of the mental defilement. So our job is to remove the mental defilement. So how to remove the mental? This question. Okay. So let me just quickly share this. This will give you a sense of joy and confidence. Okay. Let me say that let's say my handkerchief fell in the mud a week ago. A brand new handkerchief fell in the mud a week ago, and I was really sad that it fell there. I washed it under running water. Luckily, it became so clean. So yesterday, again, it fell somewhere. It was somewhere, and yesterday I was not worried because I know that I washed under running water. It will become very clean. I running water, but it's not coming, it's not being clean. What's the problem? Is it because of this Swiss water? Swiss water is not so efficient as other water? Or what could be the reason why? So therefore, what could be the reason why in the second case? The first one, it fell in France. And the France mud, I was in running water, it becomes so clean. Yesterday it fell in, it was a little dark when I came here, a little dark somewhere, and I washed it under running water, it's not going away. The stain is not going away. Where lies the difference between the French water or Swiss water or the mud? The stain or... I put the same effort. Okay, I put the same effort. Don't think that I was biased. Anyone? I say Kibala. So in dark, water doesn't work. No, I wash well. It's very small, tiny handkerchief. Yes. Okay, so what's your name? Camille. 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 Okay, Camille is saying that the state is not the same. Oh, that's interesting. You're right. So the first soap is not the same. I didn't know you soap in both cases. No soap use. Okay, Stephen. Okay, that's smart. That's right. In the first case, it fell in the mud. In the second case, it was dark. I didn't know where it fell. So later I discovered that it was grease. Grease, the ordinary water will not wash it away. It requires detergent. Okay, so from this, the message is that what remedy to apply. So what we said is that we have to remove the mental defilement for the goals like Buddha nature to manifest. We have to remove the mud like the mental defilement. So we have to apply remedies. To which, what remedy to apply depends on the nature of the stains, nature of defilements. So, as Stephen said, in the first case it was ordinary mud. In the second case it was grease. So the defilement is very different. So the remedy also should be different. So the remedy, what a remedy applied to remove the mental dirt within us is determined by the nature of the mental defilements. So we have to know the nature of the mental defilements. What attracts? What is that mental defilement which stops us from letting us see the Buddha nature, or which stops us from having this Buddha nature manifest? So we need to know the nature of the defilement. And the nature of defilement quickly. We see that give two aspirations, two goals to seek. One is, okay, in secular context, we say to minimize the miseries and minimize suffering. And in secular context, and maximize the happiness or the ease, that the ease becomes 100%. Okay. So these are our goals. And we have the potential, which is known as Buddha nature. We have the potential. If we have the potential, why don't we see this potential? Because that potential is obscured by the mental defilements. Now we have to remove the mental defilements. How to remove the mental defilements? By applying the remedies. What remedies apply is determined by the nature of the defilements. We have to know the nature of the defilements. Okay, so look, this is all so coherently connected. They are so connected. And this is where the Nalanda studies, the teachings or the explanations given by the great Nalanda masters, from Nagarjuna to like Bodhisattva and then Lama Adishidevanga in 5th, no, sorry, 11th century AD. So we see that all the great teachers, they left so much of their legacies. And we need to see them. So these legacies, in fact, it says that Nalanda University, the erstwhile ancient Nalanda University of India, that was the first university in the world. I think it's Bologna University. How do you pronounce it? Bologna University. So that is the oldest university, living university. But Nalanda, not is, was the oldest university, the first university in the world, first university. I think it is not, because it's already gone. So that's very sad story. Such a loss of a human treasure. See, is the legacy, the treasure of the humanity, the whole world. There's a big treasure, the first university, and just they destroyed with dust into fire by the invasion. Extremely sad, but purely by the invasion. Okay, so with this, now what is the mental development? So all these are very systematically taught by the incredible great Nalanda masters, and who in turn based their teachings on the Buddhist Shakyamuni's own the teachings. So what was taught by the great teachers, that the mental developments are there, the nature of the mental developments, given that there are two goals, and we don't achieve these two goals, we have the potential for these two goals. Why we don't achieve them? Because these two goals are obscured by the mental defilements. Mental defilements to obscure the fearlessness, and the mental defilements to obscure the infinite ease. The fearlessness is the opposite of fear or the miseries. So we see that there are two sets of the defilements. One defilement, that defilements should obscure you from attaining fearlessness. So that is technically known as afflictive obscurations. Technically, the first defilement, which obscure, which attract miseries, is known as the afflictive obscurations. And the other one, which obstructs you from experiencing infinite ease, is known as cognitive obscurations. So these are two main defilements. And more precisely, the first one, afflictive obscurations. What is that? These say, what kind of afflictive obscurations does that mean? So broadly speaking, there are three. Broadly speaking, three. One is contaminated karmas, and the other is afflictions. Contaminated karmas, afflictions, they active seeds of verse 2. So these are the three. For example, karmas, what's karma? Some people have a naive, they're very naive to see karma as something very esoteric concepts of some religious concept. No, karma means action. And action is something which we accept in a secular is action. So verbal actions, bodily actions, and the mental actions. This is known as karma. And contaminated karma, to know this, we have to know what is contamination. And this will go into more detail later. For time being, I'm going to try and create the background for the reading this text, 3 as for the part. So one, and number two is the cognitive obscurations. So the metaphor usually that is that somebody smashed garlic, let's say, somebody smashed garlic in the mug, and then you said, I'm very sorry, I did it, and you remove the garlic. You remove the salt garlic, and you wash it so well under running water. So there's no salt garlic anymore. You smell it, it still smells garlic. So the solid part of the garlic-like metal stains is known as afflictive obscurations, and the smell is referred as the cognitive obscurations. So the defilements that we have, they're twofold. One is afflictive obscurations like the solid garlic mental defilements, and other one is the one, not the cognitive obscurations. And what's the job of these two defilements? Is to torture us, to create problem on us. The first one, Afflictive obscurations, the job is to attract all the miseries. We don't want miseries. And its job is to attract all the miseries, the fears, the problems. And the obscurations, its job to push our happiness away. Its job is to push the happiness away to stop us from attaining Buddhahood. So the first one is to stop us attain nirvana. And the cognitive obscuration is to stop us from attaining Buddhahood. This is their job. It's good or bad? Not very bad. But if that's our job is to, so the wise people should be those who put effort to remove these. For example, say what attracts the pains, afflictive vibrations. We have headache or when any kind of such problems, then you take what is the painkiller in Swiss? The full gun. So they say when the pains or stress or dizziness, you take the duffel gum. Instead of remove actually what attracted the pain is not anything else. It's the afflictive obscurations. And afflictive obscuration is resting so well in a heart. It's resting, and you take the duffel gum. Duffel gum to remove the pain. It's so temporary. As long as it is not removed, this pain will come over and over again. How much would it come so many times in your life? Raise hands. Minimum 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in your life. Raise hands. And now that's the end of the story, or you may have more in the future. Have more, because it is a permanent solution. The real permanent solution is to remove when the fire is there. When the fire is there, or when the poisonous tree is there, poisonous tree, and the wind blows through this poisonous tree leaves, you have the skin rashes, and then you remove the leaves. It's just temporary solution. Again, more leaves will grow. So some people, they deliberately trim the leaves for so more leaves in the future. So wise will remove the root. You agree? So duffel gum is just remove the leaves. The wise people remove the root, that is, remove the afflictive obscurations. So and duffel gum is not useful. Don't say that it is not useful. Don't say it is not useful. You're getting it? So as long as you cannot get rid of the afflictive obscurations, you have to rely on duffel gum. You're getting it? You have to rely on this. So our job is rely on duffel gum, meanwhile put effort to remove the afflictive obscurations. These two must go hand in hand. Okay. So then defilements. Now to remove the defilements, so the first afflictive obscurations is two kinds: contaminant karmas, afflictions, and the active seeds. And even these are all rooted to ignorance. Okay, this is the key. This is all rooted to ignorance. The root of all these afflictive obscurations is the ignorance, and precisely self-grasping ignorance. So our job must be to remove the self-grasping ignorance. Okay, how to remove the ignorance? Hey, how to remove the ignorance? By Durga. But not the reality, ignorance. How to remove ignorance? Ignorance. Okay, this is very important because these are together. So the ignorance is like darkness. In dark, you don't see the reality. Likewise, with ignorance, you don't see the reality. You don't see what's around you. And in dark, you may bang against the wall. So with ignorance, you don't see the reality. So how to remove the darkness? Light a candle. At least you light a candle, Buddha will be very happy. This is a smart person. So therefore, they say the wise person well, what will they do is that they'll introduce the light to dispel the darkness. So likewise, the Buddha taught us very clearly that to remove the darkness of ignorance is only to be done by introducing the light of the wisdom. So the next question is, what is the wisdom? And precisely the wisdom that we need to talk about is the wisdom of emptiness. Wisdom of emptiness. So if we get time, we'll go through it very quickly. Wisdom of emptiness. So this is one part. So now look, this is where the Buddha's teaching is so pragmatic, practical. So to have light, you just bring the Buddha, remove the darkness, the Buddha will be very upset. And one day, one early morning at like 6 o'clock, I received a call from one lady who said, Geshe, I'm going to give up Buddhism. Then I said, it's fine. I said, Geshe, I'm very serious, I'm going to give up Buddhism. I said, it's fine. So she was saying, I'm serious. She's trying to provoke me, making me to ask why. So then I asked why. And she said that the last 3 years I've been praying to Buddha. I've been praying to Aratara. And said, what is your prayer? And she said that, I prayed that my brother should get a job. I said, okay, now I know why you became Buddhist. So I told her that, so you do one thing. If you're hungry, don't become a Buddhist. Go to kitchen. And if you're sick, don't become a Buddhist. Go to hospital. So likewise, if your brother needs a job, don't become a Buddhist. Tell your brother, don't go to the nightclubs. Don't waste your time in the club, in the pubs. What is pubs? No. What is the in French? Pub. Okay. Bar. Oh, okay. Isco. Bisco. Okay. Disco. Bisco. Bistro. Okay. So then I told her that tell your brother not to go to the bar or pubs, not go to the nightclubs, instead study well, prepare for the competition exams and get the prestigious job. Become the chief secretary of the president. Get all this job. These are all open for you. So no need to become Buddhist. So what I'm saying is that this should be the approach. It's your well-being. It's your well-being. It's not about ism. Ism, you change your life, ism will change. Within a single lifetime, your ism will change. But your well-being is so important. For your well-being, we have to know how to create this well-being in a way. So, a smart person, short-term benefit, long-term benefit. Smart person are those people who look for the long-term benefit while not compromising the short-term benefit. Let me repeat it. While there are short-term benefits and long-term benefits, smart ones are those people who seek long-term benefits by not compromising the short-term benefits. Once in a while, we may have to compromise the short-term benefits. Otherwise, while not neglecting the short-term benefits, they focus on the long-term benefits. These are the wise people. Unwise people are those people who focus everything, invest everything on just the short-term benefit. So these are unwise people. So the wisdom plays a very important role. So for the long-term solution, wisdom plays a very important role, number one. Then this wisdom, for example, like there's a poisonous tree there. To cut the poisonous tree, we require a very sharp axe. And the sharp axe is lying on the table. And how will this sharp axe cut the tree? It'll go on its own. Somebody has to pick this up. And who's that person? Person who comes, the work starts at 9 o'clock and he comes at 10 o'clock. And then says that, okay, I'm a little tired. So, okay, how are you going? How are you doing? And you spend like this. Oh, I'm a little thirsty. I'll have with the espresso. And then it's already now time for lunch. So, do you think that such person will use this axe to cut the tree? No, somebody who should have the enthusiasm to cut the person's tree. So that enthusiasm, the greatest of the enthusiasm that exists in this universe is the Bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is required, number 2. Now, to feel the Bodhicitta, you feel the pain on yourself. Unless you have the experience of pain yourself, you will not possibly generate bodhicitta for others. So you have to have the experience of pain on yourself. So that is to feel this pain and then wanting to get away from this pain is known as renunciation. So to have bodhicitta, we require renunciation first. So these 3 things are known as the 3 principal aspects of the path. So today there are many Tibetans here, and I like to share one the incident where it says that if you don't have the experience of the pain yourself, you will not know how to empathize with the others when they go through pains. Okay, once there was a couple, and the lady was going through toothache. Okay, how many of you had the toothache presents in your life? Toothache? Okay, those who did not have any toothache problem, raise hands. No toothache problem, raise hands. 1, 2, 3, only 3. Only 3. Okay. Only who? Kusala, Nico, and Kusala, toothache problem? No problem. Never. Removed. Okay. Nice, Vamara. So you don't know what is toothache. So 1, 2, I think there was another also. 3. 3. That's a different toothache. Still, you have not understood it. Okay. So, say, so the wife was going through having the toothache and she was crying. She was screaming, crying. And the husband said, so this was not the first month. It was after Miss. First month is like, why are you crying? And after 5 years, 10 years, why are you crying? This was what the husband said, told the wife, why are you crying? And she said, I have a toothache. What is toothache? Tooth is a piece of bone. Bone doesn't have pain. The next year, the husband has the toothache. The husband was crying. And the wife said, why are you crying? And the husband said, I have a toothache. What is toothache? Tooth is a piece of bone. It doesn't have pain. And what he said, male tooth and female tooth is different. Okay, so these 3 things we require the wisdom of emptiness. So if you have these 3 things, you are a wise person. You're a wise person. So that is the wisest of all in the world. Wisest of all. For example, say Einstein is considered extremely intelligent. And for example, like, say who else? Like Niels Bohr or Madame Curie or the genius, many genius. So Charles Darwin, Thomas Edison. But I would say that anybody who realizes the importance of these 3 things, wisdom of emptiness, bodhicitta, the renunciation, these are the wisest of the beings on planet Earth. So therefore, this is known as the 3 principal aspects of the path. And if you have these 3 things with you, and particularly following the Buddhism, if you have these 3 things, then I would say that you can go to anywhere. You can follow you can be in the Theravada environment, you can be in the Tibetan Buddhist the environment, you can be in Sakya, you can be in Gelug, you can be in Kagyu, you can be in Nyingma, you can go anywhere as long as you have these 3 things with you. So these three things will make sure that you don't become sectarian, chauvinist, or fundamentalist. Otherwise, say you don't have these three things, and still we fight, this is my religion, that is my religion, that is your religion, we are different, all these fights happen. That is not religion, that is not Buddhism. Okay, so Buddhist mind, these three things are being taught here, and each of these three things are taught under three subheadings. Okay, first, let me say that you have no idea about these three things. And if I, for example, let's say, the, okay, Stephen, if I, you have to practice the wisdom of emptiness. So you have no idea about these. So what most likely what will you, what will be your response? Yes. No, if I say you have to practice the wisdom of emptiness. Wisdom, nothing to do with wallet. What I'm saying, you don't have any idea about the wisdom of emptiness, but wisdom you know, and emptiness in the loose sense you know, empty wallet and so forth. But the wisdom of emptiness, but combine these two, you have to practice wisdom of emptiness. What will you say? Okay, how do you do it? Anyone else? What is that? What is wisdom of emptiness? Okay, number one. And then I explain what it is. Okay, and okay, so let's say that or you say you have a rough idea of what it is, and then you don't know who I am. You don't know that he practiced wisdom of emptiness. No idea. Oh, you don't know me. Suddenly somebody came up, you have to practice wisdom of emptiness. Then what do you say? Why should I do it? Right? Hey, who are you? Why should I do that? Then explain it. And you see, wow, it's so beneficial. It's so nice. I'm so glad that I come across this person. And he explained about, why I required this. Then what will be the next question? How should I do it? Next question. How should I do it? Then explain how to do it. And I explain how to do it. Then what will be the next question? Benefit the first one, not explained. Okay, this is already told. It's second. So let's say that, hey, you have to do Ph.D. program. And you know about a PhD program, the benefit, how to do it, you know that. And then what will be the next question? For how long? So when will I complete? What is the measure of having generated it? Okay, so first one is why to practice renunciation. Number two, how to practice renunciation. Number three, what is the measure of having generated renunciation? Okay, now what's number one? Why? Number two, how? Number three, the why, how, measure. For the wisdom emptiness, why, how, measure. You getting it? Okay, so with this mind, so as we read this together, I will just identify where is what. Okay, let's read this together. Page 109. Page 1. Look. Ale. Mare Ajal Pegu Narva. Somebody can translate for Ajala. Ale, Tiago, Tadare. That's all. That, okay, let's read this together. And then once in a while, okay, first, very quickly, if you want to note, make a quick note, I'll say, number three, verse number three is why renunciation. Why? Verse number three is why. Verse number three reads, why renunciation? Verse number three. And verse number four, how? How to cultivate renunciation. Number 5, the measure of having generated renunciation. Number 3, wide renunciation. Number 4, how to cultivate renunciation. Number 5, the measure of having generated renunciation. Okay, then number 6, why bodhicitta? Number 6, why bodhicitta? And number 7, how? Number 7 and how? Number 8, how? Number 7, number 8, how? And then the what's next? Measure of bodhicitta is not explicitly indicated here. So because that is easy, so you have to take it from number 5. Number 5 for the what is said in renunciation, you change it to bodhicitta. Okay, that I will explain how to change. Then number 9. Number 9 is why wisdom of emptiness. Number 9. And then number 10 and down. Number 10 below, there are how. And then number 12. Number 12 is the measure. Number 12 is measure. Number 12, 13. Number 12 and 13 are the measure of having generated the wisdom of emptiness. And number 14 is the concluding advice. Okay, with this in mind, let's read from the beginning the 3 principal aspects of the path by Lama Tsongkhapa. Okay, I bow down to the Venerable Lamas. As well as I'm able, I will explain the essence of all the teachings of the Buddha, the path praised by the Bodhisattvas, congruous children, the entrance for those who desire liberation. Listen with a clear mind, you fortunate ones who are not attached to this joys of secular existence. Strive to make good use of leisure and opportunity, and direct your minds to the path that pleases the Buddhas. Without pure renunciation, an end to attraction for the pleasures of secular existence is unattainable. The craving for existence also binds beings, thus from the outset seek renunciation. Reverse attraction to this life by reflecting on how leisure and opportunity are difficult to find and how life is ephemeral and without span. Reverse attraction to future lives by repeatedly think of the infallibility of karma and its effects and the miseries of samsara. Contemplating thus, when for an instant you do not admire the splendors of secular existence and remain intent on liberation day and night, renunciation is born in you then. Renunciation, if not tempered by pure mind of bodhicitta, however, will not bring forth the perfect bliss of unsurpassed enlightenment. Therefore, the wise ones generate the excellent mind of bodhicitta, swept up in the current of the 4 powerful rivers, tied by strong bonds of the karma, so on to caught in the iron net of self-grasping, completely enveloped by the darkness of ignorance, born and reborn in boundless cyclic existence, ceaselessly tormented by the 3 miseries, thinking of your mothers in this condition, generate the supreme mind of bodhicitta. Although you train in renunciation the mind of bodhicitta, without wisdom that realizes ultimate reality, you cannot cut the root of cyclic existence. Therefore, strive to understand dependent arising. One who sees the infallible cause and effect of all phenomena in samsara nirvana and destroys all focuses of apprehension has entered the path which pleases the Buddhas. Appearances are infallible dependent arising. Emptiness is understanding that is free of assertions. As long as these two are seen as distinct, you have not yet realized the intent of the Buddhas. When these two realizations are concurrent, by the mere subtly infallible dependent origination, concurrently destroys all modes of grasping through a definite discernment. At that time, the analysis of the profound view is perfected. Furthermore, appearances refuse the extreme of existence, emptiness refuses the extreme of non-existence. When you understand that emptiness arises in the form of cause and effect, you are not captivated by the view of the extremes. O my child, once you have thus realized the points of the 3 principal paths, seek solitude and cultivate strong determination, and quickly reach the final aspired goal. Okay, so now on to the main part of the teaching is that that We talked about the what we are seeking. We are seeking, say in a secular context, what we are seeking fearlessness, and we are seeking infinite ease. And in the Buddhist, the what we call as the fearlessness is technically known as nirvana, and the infinite ease is technically known as Buddhahood. So now, technically speaking, we're all seeking fearlessness and infinite ease. Now, do we have the potential? So what we said we do have. What is that known as? That's known as Buddha nature. We all have the Buddha nature. In Tibetan, Sanjay we have the Buddha nature. So what is the Buddha nature like? This is something that we need to have conviction. And in other words, in simple terms, it says that we all have the capacity to become Buddha. We all have the capacity to stop all the painful tears altogether and to get the maximum ease. So this is the Buddha nature. And how do we know that we have the Buddha nature? So this is something that we need to know, that whatever we believe, we must know the rationality. We must have reasons behind that. This is very important. And so how do we know that we have the Buddha nature? This is very important. If you're interested, the book that we have, okay, Stephen, if you can bring this book. Yes. Okay, in this book, The Blaze, so last time I did mention this is your own copy. This is made available for free distribution by the generous offerings of the sponsors, Brother Elvin and Sister Christy from Singapore, also Brother Sonamala from Singapore and his family. So they asked us to make this book available for all the retreatants wherever we conduct retreats in the world, wherever. So to make this book available for everybody for free. So it is the generosity that is available. And in this book, we see that there are so many important short texts, which I already explained it. And particularly this one text by the title, In Praise of Dharmadhatu. Okay, so Tenzin Tundula, he's already there. He already showed it. Without me even mentioning this, he knows what I'm going to say. So which page? 131. 21. 121, there's the this is by Lama Tsongkhap, Arinagarjuna. Okay, it's on page 121. So we have to study this. Of course, we're not going to study this here, but I'm just telling you that this is a text, a short text, and by Arinagarjuna is about how you and I, we all have Buddha nature. Even the worst of the person you can think of, the people somebody who is irresponsible in just killing millions of people, even they have the Buddha nature. Everybody is a Buddha nature. The only thing is when this Buddha nature is obstructed by the mental defilements, then it can go haywire, engage in creating so much of pains on others, and then meanwhile it can create negative karma for yourself, for you to suffer so much in the future. Okay, so there, from this, let me this quickly share with you what Arinagarjuna taught about the Buddha nature. So the metaphor that he gave is that our mind, the Buddha nature is like a fireproof cloth, fireproof jacket, and if it's tainted, if it is stained, or if it's soiled with dirt, then they say what you can do is that you don't have to go through the conventional washing. Just put it in the fire. Put it in fire because it's fireproof. It'll not damage the jacket. So what it does, it'll burn the stains. When you remove it, it comes so perfectly clean. So they say the jacket with the dirt, this is the metaphor for our mind. a mind which is, although it's a fireproof, although it is Buddha, although it has this Buddha nature, but it is full of mental stains, anger, attachment, craving, jealousy, all sadness, frustration. All these things are within us. Yet these are not your true nature. These are not my true nature. These are not your true nature. And the true nature is so beautiful. It's amazingly beautiful. And so that this is one metaphor that Aranyagarbhuni gave in this text. We have to study this. And say, in Switzerland, what is the biggest river? Huh? Horn and? Okay, Lohon and Lohan. Okay, Lohon. Let's say Lohon. 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 Horn. Okay. And the other one? Lohan. Okay. For the time being, it's not hope. For the time being, it's not really hopeful for me. But I'll not give up. Okay. So the Lohon, let me say Lohon. Okay, Lohon River. Can we drink water directly? Huh? Are you sure? Directly? Not yet. Not yet. Okay. John Paul is very truthful. What's your name? Chris is not too truthful. Too much into Swiss. We the Swiss. Where everything is divine. Even the running water is also divine. Directly. Swim is different. I will not drink water where people swim. I will not drink. That's honest. However clean, I will not drink. Where people swim, I will not drink it. If you don't believe, go to the five-star hotel. Go to five-star hotel, people do what happens. There's somebody picks up the butter, small butter there, give them a table, and then you put it back. It's so dirty, right? So what's the difference? Your hand or other person's hand? Still the other person's hand is so dirty. And you kept it back, it's so dirty. And swim is horrible. I can't imagine. Of course I will not drink it. Even if Swiss water, I don't drink it. Okay, so what I'm saying is that we cannot drink it. But okay, let's say that the Swiss, when do you have the heat wave? Now. Oh. So the Swiss people, if you have problem with heat wave, I'll invite you for holiday in Delhi. Come to Delhi. Yeah, come to Delhi. I'll invite you for holiday. When a heat wave, come there. So what is heat wave? 32, 33, 35. So in Delhi, 46. 45, normal. You're getting it? One day we're at 38 for US, extreme heat wave. So what happened was that once Delhi, I finished my teaching and I came down. And there were the participants outside. And I said, oh, today the weather is so pleasant. I said, now the temperature must be 38 or 39. And one lady said, no, Geshe, it's 42. I said, no, it can't be. I could feel the breeze. I could feel it's not 42. And she showed me the mobile and said 42. I said, upgraded with the internet on. It dropped to 38. So 38, we could feel the breeze. In here is extreme heat wave. Okay, so this is where the problem lies. Where everything's so good is a problem. Everything's so good is a problem. So things are not going well. This is a blessing. where things are not going well, is a big blessing. You know how? Once I was invited to give a talk in, say, one university. So I flew there, and my host came to receive me at the airport. And my host, they were just sweating, and they said, Geshe, we are very sorry to invite you in such the time of heat. And I said that, no, I could feel the breeze. I could feel the breeze. And they said, no, Geshe La, it's very hot. I'm very sorry for that. I said, no, you must be joking. And they said, no, it's very hot. I said, okay, now I understand. I'm so thankful to Delhi. Because of Delhi, wherever in the world I travel, I could feel the breeze. This is amazing. Okay, so let's say the water, say 32 degrees centigrade, 33, heat wave. In Switzerland, heat wave. And everybody is so tired, thirsty, and the John Paul makes us work so hard to prepare for the teaching for 3 hours, 4 hours, without water. And finally, somebody becomes so desperate and got water from Lohon, from the river, and said, this water from Lohon, you want to drink? Nobody said, everybody says, no, we'll not drink it. Okay, now look, why? Because it's not clean. Now what you do is that you subject this water to purification process. Purification process, like all this water. So all this water, this is what you get from the shops. This went through the purification process. Reverse osmosis, ultrafiltration. With these purification processes, then clean water came out. You want to drink it now? Yes, of course. So this is what we call the clean water. So this clean water came from where? Did it come from Mount Kailash or from this Luhong River? Luhong River. And Luhong River, there's no clean water. It's dirty. Wherever you look at, it's dirty. So how come that so clean water came from there? This is one question. Don't forget it. So meanwhile, okay, so this singing ball, I say that this must be brass. This must be brass. And I say, I saw somewhere a singing ball made of gold. And I want a golden singing ball made of solid gold. So with the water, I remove the dirt and the water becomes so clean. So with the brass singing ball, I remove the brass particles, so it becomes gold. Is it possible? Not possible. Not possible. Why not? With the what? Swiss is all short form. Nature. Full stop. Okay. So. Okay. Nature is different. So with the dirty water, however the dirty water is, the true nature of water is clean. The true nature is clean. But as a singing ball, when you remove the brass particles, you are removing the true nature of the singing ball, brass singing ball. So the singing ball disappears. Instead of the singing ball becoming golden singing ball, brass singing ball disappears. The difference is that you are removing when you remove the brass particles, you are removing the true nature of the singing ball. Whereas you are removing the dirt from the dirty water, you are not removing the true nature. You are removing the adventitious nature. When the jacket, fireproof jacket, when immersed in fire, then the stains will be burned, and what comes out? Clean jacket comes out. You're getting it? Clean jacket comes out. Likewise, the dirt removed, what comes out? Clean water comes out. So the true nature of the water is very clean. Likewise, whereas for this brass singing ball, the true nature of the brass singing ball is not gold. So no matter how much you have to remove the brass particles, expecting gold singing ball to come out, it will never happen, because you are removing the true nature. With the dirty water, you are not removing the true nature. You are removing the adventitious nature. Okay, so our mind, good news is that our mind is not like the brass singing ball. Our mind is like the dirty water. However, dirty water is, the true nature of water is extremely pure, extremely pure. Okay, so our mind is like that. And how do we know that our mind is the true nature is beautiful and the mind is the stains are there? Okay, when are you more happy? Friday evenings or Monday mornings? Friday evenings or Monday morning? When you're happy? Is your body or is your mind? Your mind, right? So look, this is why how the mind is so stained, how the mind is tainted. You know, it cannot feel the 24/7 joy. It feels a very momentary joy in the Friday evenings. And the Saturday, okay. Then the Sunday morning, okay. Sunday evening, finish. And the Monday morning, hopeless. So this is our mind. But this is not your true nature mind. True nature mind is 24/7, whether it's Friday evening or Monday morning, no difference. The joy just exists within you at all times. Okay, so this nature that we have, this good nature. So this nature that we have, if you remove the dirt, the mind becomes absolutely, the mind is totally free from the metal stains to the extent that you get what you want. You get the fearlessness, no miseries, miseries become zero. You want happiness, happiness expands to infinite. This is so beautiful. Okay, now just before we break for the short break, my question to you is, just tell me how many of you had some experiences in your life where you feel extremely beautiful, so beautiful moments in your life. Really, you describe that as very beautiful moments, and the genuinely beautiful. Okay, how many had such moments in your life? Raise hands. Really beautiful moments. Okay, would some of you like to share your experience? Okay, Carol saying the birth of her son. Very good. Yes. Anyone else? Meditating in front of Mount Kailash. Extremely beautiful. Very good. Anyone else? Jambi. Jambi and Borobudur. Okay, so the feeling of expansiveness, joy, and purity that one feels when you're in Jambi, the place where Lama Disha received teachings on Bodhicitta from the great teacher Lama Selimpa, and the feeling was so massively, amazingly beautiful. Anyone else? Yes. When having audience with His Holiness, yes, many people have that experience. Very powerful experience, yes. Anyone else? Yes. Okay. So hostel and then coming back home. Come back home to meet your parents, and at home every cell relaxes. Amazing. Oh, you got? Yes. We're here or in Bodh Gaya? Okay. No, I'm not everywhere. I'm just joking. I'm joking. Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, so trying to recall these moments. In fact, for me, there were several moments. One moment was that my aeroplane landed in Singapore, I think how many years ago? 14 years ago. When the aeroplane landed in Singapore. It's not that the Singapore airport is so beautiful. No, I was not even seeing the Singapore airport. I was inside the aeroplane. But the moment it landed, this extremely beautiful feeling coming, extremely beautiful, so beautiful, it's amazing. So it melts all discriminations, it melts all the barriers, it just dissolves, it embraces everybody, it's amazing. So you try to, each one of us, we try to recall those moments, and then try to check what is the factor, why that happened. Try to check, and in most likelihood, in most cases, the factor would be the affection, the feeling of affection, like Carol having the son born affection, like who said His Holiness over there, the Ajahn saying that His Holiness, this is amazing to have the blessings of His Holiness. Many people who actually see themselves as very strong in front of His Holiness, they couldn't contain their tears because they could feel that heart, their mind simply dissolves into affection, into peace. It's so powerful because this is known as the mirror neurons activating. So where somebody's compassion just exudes, you could feel it here. Okay, and then some others. Okay, so just check that. These experiences and like say meditating in front of Mount Kailash. Meditating Bodhicitta, meditating Mount Kailash. So you're meditating and Mount Kailash is of course greatly blessed. So that you could feel the majestic quality of the Mount Kailash with the blessings, and you are meditating. These two resonate so well, and you can feel the expansiveness of heart. That's so beautiful. Okay, so this is something when you check. And these, tell me, so did it happen every day? No, not every day. Mount Kailash every day is there. But this is not happening every day. What's the reason? Check it. So which means your Buddha nature is once in a while is activated because of the external factor. Like say, for the Karol, this part of the Buddha nature is activated slightly when you have your son born. So where these beautiful moments come, inside, it's not coming from outside. It's from inside, but the trigger outside. So this is activated from inside. So the treasure is inside. And if you can harness this treasure fully, then you can have 24/7 expansive joy without any fear. So that is Buddha nature. And this has two kinds. One is natural Buddha nature, and the other one is proliferating Buddha nature. So these two Buddha natures. And for particularly for the seniors, even for the beginners as well, if you're interested, we can discuss more on this, the two kinds of Bodhicitta. Okay, we'll stop here. We will turn to page, I think, 62. Page 56. Praise to Buddha Shakyamuni. Okay, we'll say this once. Tawge tuje shage riso to shenge meto ponjombo serge lumbo tabo jebe ko shage gebo pyola cha lo Moni Mahamuna Yeswaha Om Muni Mahamuna Yeswaha Om Muni Mahamuna Yeswaha Om Muni Mahamuna Munaye Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaye Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaye Swaha. Okay, 3 prostrations together.